Welcome to Tweet of the Week. Today I am joined by a group of people from the LYNX program at Frederick High School, and I hope you follow them on Twitter because there are a lot of exciting things going on. We have LYNX advocate Beth Sands, we have sophomore Casey Arocha, and we have a RE/MAX results agent, Lawrence Casanova, who is an involved business partner for our LYNX program. Thank you all for being here today. And I know that you have a very exciting story to tell about a series of tweets because it was a series of activities. Beth, you want to tell us about it?
Sure, and I could do this together with Kaz because he actually approached us at Frederick High School in the LYNX program with an interest in working with students. And so the two of us sat down and we met several times to kind of figure out what exactly could we do. It was pretty amalgamous at one point, and by listening to his story of success, his pathway, and sharing mine with him as well, we decided why not focus on finding your passion, and that we would look at our sophomores specifically, students who maybe hadn't quite found their way yet by the advice of their advocacy teachers. So we worked in tandem. I polled them and said, do you have any students that, think could use a little bit of encouragement, or they seem lost in their ideas, or maybe seem to lack a passion for their future? And so we decided to call it Finding Your Passion, an exploration in career pathways, because both of us felt that we ended up in our careers and our direct path was all driven by passion, things that we were passionate about. And that if we could work with students to figure out what they're passionate about by bringing in a variety of other business partners. So throughout the entire experience, it wasn't just Kaz that worked with students, it wasn't just myself. There were 3 additional business partners we brought on, and each one of those tweets highlights those experiences. And each of them had very differing directions, paths, and hopes and dreams, but at the end of it, kind of targeting that idea of like, find that thing you're passionate about, and work will not be work. Work will be rewarding, and it may be that you go directly from high school that route, maybe that you take an odd route. We drew on the board what career pathway kind of looks like. Sometimes it goes backwards and up and down, and so that's what we did over about a 5-week period. We met several times, and so Casey can talk a little bit more about the experience, or Cass, and
well, I'm going to save Casey for last because I think the student voice is the powerful one that we want to hear. But I want to ask Lawrence, what was it? Beth said that you reached out to the school. So what interested you in LYNX, and what did you feel compelled to share?
Yeah, well, originally I had gotten an email from the Chamber of Commerce about the program. And I had done similar work before as a U.S. Army recruiter in Newport News and Hampton, Virginia. And I really enjoyed it, found a lot of fulfillment out of it. So I wanted to reach out to see if there was, a need, first of all, and an opportunity for me just to, again, follow something I was passionate about, which is, working with high school kids in the community and just having an impact in some way, shape, or form in the community outside of, helping people purchase and sell their homes here in the county and the surrounding counties.
And so what about the students in the program inspired you as you went through this series with them?
Well, I mean, the biggest transformation that I think I saw from the very first meeting all the way to the end was, at the very beginning, I think we had asked for some input. We had asked for, some ideas, starting out with just the basic premise of, what is your idea of success? Because everybody's idea of success is different. And I think you could have heard a pin drop in the room, and I think Beth and I voluntold some people to offer their answer. And that is such a contrast to the last meeting that we had, where we were putting together vision boards of what does your successful life look like, so that you have a visual reminder, when you have those up and down moments in that roller coaster ride of that journey. And the input that the students were giving as they were talking about, why did they put a picture of, a house here? What is it about this house that reminds you and keeps you focused on your success, your path, your path to success. So that was such a stark contrast that you could literally see the kids transform over that period, and really open up and really start to have some dialogue about what they're passionate about and how they plan to get there.
So sometimes you're just asking them questions that they probably haven't thought a lot about before. And Casey, I saw you nodding your head a lot as he was talking, and you were able to participate in all 5 sessions?
I
think you missed one.
Yeah, I missed one.
You were absent one day.
Yeah, I wasn't able to attend that one, but all the ones that I were at were definitely, they just opened a lot of new ideas. The first one I was at, he definitely asked me a lot of questions that I didn't know the answer to. What is success? What do you want to do when you're older? What is your passion? And I didn't know that. I haven't really thought of it that much. I mean, I was in high school and I was just trying to get good enough grades,
Mm-hmm.
And then when he asked me that, it kind of turned into I turned to myself. I was like, what do you want to do? Who are you going to be? What is success? And what does it mean to you? And that really made me think a lot. And it was good because before all of these sessions, I didn't really think it mattered as much as it does, and I thought all success was the same thing. But success comes in many different forms and many different ways to different people. And it was just really eye-opening to see how you can become successful and what makes a person successful.
And so, again, not necessarily that people were asking you to, pick the career, but just to really begin to think inside yourself, what is going to make me feel like I have been successful, I have achieved something that's going to fulfill me. And I think sometimes people think, gee, they're sophomores in high school, they don't have to know what career, and you don't. But when you can really get in tune with what resonates with you, where you see yourself being successful, then that's when career opportunities become more relevant and it makes more sense to you.
Yes.
So did you have to talk about what it meant to be successful? I heard Lawrence talk about, there were pictures, and so did you kind of create a collage of things that defined success for you?
Well, yeah, we made these vision boards kind of thing where we saw all these magazines and we cut out pictures of what we thought success looked like or what we might want for our future. So I cut out things like a big house, a Rolex, stuff like that, just things that really look like success on a person or for a person.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the way I saw it, it was there's so many things that show success, so many different things in different areas of your life. There's physical things money, and then there's other things like how you feel about your passion, what you do, and how you got there. There's just so many things that really go into your own success and your own passion that it was just a lot of fun to go to this LYNX experiment and see what that really looked like and felt like.
And do you think that now that you've thought more deeply about it, some of the field trips and opportunities that are available at LYNX, you now have some more ideas about which ones you'd like to participate in and learn more?
Yeah, it definitely made me feel like I knew more about what I wanted to do. It made me feel like I had to figure out what I wanted a passion for, or what I had a passion for, and go and, get it in any way I could. And a lot of the LYNX programs, I think, are really, really beneficial to that kind of thing. Finding your passion in general, just LYNX really helps with that,
And do you think that you and your fellow classmates really appreciate when you can hear from folks who are out in the business community who have had a successful career? Does that make it more meaningful to you?
It was a lot. It was really inspiring to hear some of the paths that they took. Cass's path was crazy from what I heard. You know, he went into the military, and then I think he was talking about, you know, how you're trying to get a house and someone bought it from under him, and now he's a RE/MAX agent or whatever, and that's pretty freaking cool.
And so, forgive me, I guess I should have been calling you Kaz, since that seems to be how everyone was referring to you. But that is one of the beautiful things about LYNX, is that opportunity to have students who sometimes look at teachers and say, why is this important? When will I ever use this? Well, now you have people from the community coming in and talking to you about here's why and here's when, and that sometimes it's not that straight line that a lot of times we think when we're young. And it doesn't matter if that line gets jagged or curvy or where it goes, but, and I think, Beth, you said it perfectly, when you're driven by your passion, you don't get up and go to work every day. You get up and you enjoy life. So. And
I told, at the end of the session, I said that I felt like I actually learned a lot from the experience, and I became inspired, which that wasn't the goal, I wasn't the audience here. But the students there were able to hear, and some of them I had in class prior, and you know, Casey was in my English 9 class last year at Frederick High School, and I was his advocacy teacher last year, and now I'm functioning in a different role with him. So we've known each other for a little bit, and in different contexts, and for them to hear how my life came to be what it is. I think that sometimes young people assume certain things about their teachers, and that we're perfect, we're infallible, nothing can go wrong, we are successful to the end, and I think it was really eye-opening for some of the kids to hear me talk about my personal life, and how I became who I am today, and that I'm not done. And same with Cass, to say, like, I'm not done here. We're adults, we're successful, we're very happy, but this doesn't mean we're done. And I think that was really surprising for some young people to hear that even though you feel like you have met a level of success, that there's still room for growth in your life.
And I think this next generation of adults, you will never be able to be done, because change is just coming exponentially for you compared to what we experienced. And so you're going to have to continue to grow and learn and tap in to that passion. So thank you all so much for being here today. And you know, this is the kind of stuff you can't fully capture in the tweet, but the tweet can give you some ideas of the amazing things that are happening, not only at Frederick High School, but across the county. So stay tuned into Twitter, and please join us again next time for Tweet of the Week.